Hey, look what we have found. A big sound in a small town, far away from the bright lights. They're making music every night. Discover what is all around. A big sound, a big sound in a small town. Big sound, small town. A really big sound. Big sound, small town.
You're listening to Big Sound Small Town with Sandy Carlton.
I was young and so outrageous, the weather was contagious, but I'm sliding down that slippery slope today. Can you get your head around it? Lost until you found it. I'm looking for a little hand today. Ooh, hallelujah, what's it to ya? Jump on up, let it through ya. Hey, everybody's looking for the way. Hallelujah, get it through ya. Jump on up, let it rule ya. Everybody needs a hand today, that's what I'm saying. Well, I was lost in Encinitas. I was kicked by senoritas, and the sun was getting hotter by the day. Can you really comprehend it? No way you can mend it. I'm looking for a corner in the shade. Ooh, hallelujah, what's it to ya? Jump on up, let it through ya. Hey, everybody's looking for a way. Hallelujah, get it through ya. Jump on up, let it move ya. Everybody needs a hand today. Back in Yazoo City, licking wounds, man, it ain't pretty. I'm selling everything I've ever saved. Hell, I don't need no silver platters. Give me one damn thing that matters. Time is rushing by me like a wave. Ooh, hallelujah, what's it to ya? Jump on up, let it through ya. Hey, everybody's looking for the way. Hallelujah, jump on up, let it do ya. Everybody needs a hand today. Everybody needs a hand today. Everybody needs a hand today. Yeah, once again, I'm Mike Alicke, and I'm from the Charlotte, Carolina area, originally from New Jersey, New York. But I've been here almost 20 years and very active in the songwriter scene in the Charlotte area and Lake Norman. I host 2 songwriter showcases and a couple of open mics and play in a few bands. And that's my general background.
So you're a busy guy.
Busy guy.
Yeah. Play a lot of music.
I play a lot of music.
You
Full-time musician.
You play a lot of...
Some teaching too during the day.
You play a lot of different stuff?
Yeah, I in the bands that are they're cover bands,
right?
So play all the pop stuff,
sure,
days gone by to present. But the stuff I do solo is a mixture of covers and originals.
Right.
Well, and songwriter shows are obviously all original.
Yeah, all original.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone knows that if you're going to play your own songs, if you want to play them much, you're going to have to play some covers to get people in to hear them.
It's a long life lesson to learn that most people hanging out in a bar or coffee shop don't want to hear your original material unless they know that's the reason that they're there.
Sure. The listening rooms are kind of few and far between.
They are few far between, and good luck if you think you're going to get rich doing that.
Oh yeah, you're not. You're not.
You know, and I didn't get into music to get rich anyway. I got into music to meet girls, but
Yeah, well, I mean that works. That it still works today. So,
all kidding aside, it's rewarding to when you do meet good songwriters and to help
Sure.
connect the whole community together.
yeah, yeah. I used to be a part of a songwriting group whose basic thing was to help other songwriters. Encourage them to knock their 16 verse song down to
Yeah.
8. I mean, so
Only Bob Dylan can get away with 20 verses.
yeah, he's the only one, and then he changes them about every time he does them. So
Yeah. You don't know till you're halfway through what song it is.
yeah, you don't.
But I came from, I had an original band in New Jersey, and we showcased in Manhattan. Then we got lucky to do some touring and had a few CDs. The band was called Alaskan, which was a combination of my last name, Alicke, and my partner, Tom Askin.
Right.
Alicke and Askin became Alaskan.
Yeah.
And we went at it for about 10 years in that area. And so I took a lot of that inspiration into my songwriting, still doing it.
So
Still at it.
so you grew up playing?
I grew up playing. My brother was in bands, and then as the younger brother, I'm like, oh, you gotta get me into that, As his guitar player became my teacher, and I did a little time at Berkeley.
Yeah.
And I got absorbed the jazz and the fusion and
Sure.
all that, but I did not want to be a jazz guitar. I mean, I love it and I admire it, but I knew it wasn't in. You have to live that.
Yeah, you do have to.
Like being a bluegrass shredder, you have to live it 24/7.
Yeah, you do. You do.
And I just knew I just wanted to be a songwriter in the vein of James Taylor or
Sure. Well,
If
New Jersey,
only.
New Jersey. So let's see, Bruce Springsteen.
Well, Springsteen, yeah. So I had a bit of that, a funny combination of like a lot of songwriters that I meet that I play with in the songwriter rounds. They're more folk, fingerpicked oriented or
Sure.
whatever, more laid back. But I come from sort of rock, folk, and jazz.
Right. Yeah.
And some classical. I did a little bit of fiddle around, some
Yeah.
classical guitar. I would not claim that in a room with,
Yeah. Classical
anybody
player,
playing in the room.
yeah.
But that's a dedication. It's a whole nother level.
It is. I mean, yeah.
I talked to one guy. You have to practice almost 6 hours a day when you're on tour just to be at that level.
Yeah.
And I don't have that kind of patience or time.
Me, I don't either. I mean,
My mind
those
goes out the window.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to play as much as anyone, but then as far as dedicated study for that length of time, not happening. But I admire those that can do that.
Yeah.
And I know many of those people. I mean, and they are incredible.
Yeah.
So how'd you get to North Carolina?
Well, affordable housing.
Yeah, I mean that'll do it. I mean,
At the time, not so much anymore, but
yeah, you're right.
My wife had worked in Manhattan, and she actually 9/11. Her job transferred, and she worked another year, and she had enough of it when we had our first child, and we decided, maybe it's time for a change.
Sure.
And she got a hit with a company down here, and we moved quickly. It happened very fast. And I figured, well, I could play music anywhere.
True. It's universal.
Charlotte. But then I realized, wait, Charlotte's a baking town. It's not a music town.
yeah. It is
I
a
should
banking
be in
town.
Asheville or Shelby.
Yeah, true. Yeah. It's
But I'm trying to make a go of it, and there is a good scene. You say there's a lot of okay or not so great writers, but there's some really
good ones
we were
too, yeah.
talking earlier about David Childers
Sure.
and Rick Spreitzer and people that,
Yeah.
I've had at my shows, and I've been a part of their scene, and
Lenny Federal.
Lenny Federal,
Yeah.
legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, it has been over the years a really good music scene. I was even a part of it for a while. It's a good music scene.
Yeah.
So
Doug Thompson.
yeah,
Steve
Doug.
Simpson,
Yeah. All fine writers. I mean,
Yeah.
and they've had some good bands there over the years. So it's
Concord, the Avid brothers,
Oh,
made it
yeah.
out of town.
sure.
Yeah,
So
it can happen anywhere.
it can happen anywhere.
And
And
it usually is. There's a scene that sparks up and it blossoms.
it can happen anywhere, but there are places that make it easier to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, however, that being said, the competition there is usually greater too. So
everybody has that inclination to just pick up and move to Nashville, but get
Mm-hmm.
in line if you do that.
yeah, I mean everybody there is as good as you are,
Yeah.
or better.
My first trip
You know?
to Nashville, I was very lucky because a friend of mine I was visiting him for the NAMM show.
Yeah.
And he had to leave the next day, and he says, "Go visit my friend at the Indigo Hotel, and tell her I know her, and you know me." And I got over there, and I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. So the girl grabs me, and she goes, "Do you want to play tonight? Somebody's plane was delayed." I'm like, my first night in Nashville, and I'm playing in a song circle.
Oh, yeah.
And then I realized the girl at the door girl gets up and plays, and she's better than everybody.
Oh yeah. I mean that's the way it is there. I mean it is.
Your waiters probably run circles.
Sure.
around you.
Yeah. I mean, but that's okay too. I mean,
It's a healthy dose of reality.
it is. And I think every musician at some point in their life has to have that. You have to get the. And I tell my Kerrville story of being humble. I went thinking I was the greatest songwriter in the world and realized that I wasn't even the best songwriter there, It's like, oh, okay, maybe I need to rethink this a lot,
Yeah.
But do you write? How often do you write?
Well, you mentioned how busy I am. I get really busy in the warm weather, and then I find I don't write very much because
Right.
I'm running around
Sure.
chasing my tail.
Yeah.
But this time of year, I try to force myself to write because it's the winter doldrums.
Yeah,
and
it is.
The gigs haven't dried up, but they slowed down a little bit enough to have some free time. And I recently just wrote 3 songs, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
Yeah. And I'm finishing up a CD of 11 songs that it's been over the course through the pandemic and everything put on hold for a year,
Right.
and finally getting that done. So that's a whole load of songs that are going to be behind me, and now I'm thinking about the next.
yeah, you're already on to the next project. Yeah.
Well, I have enough for another, actually a few, if I go backlog.
Right.
But I find that, you pull back and you go songs that are old, somehow they feel old.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I agree
even though
with
they're
that.
good, they're not a snapshot of where you are in time now.
True. And that is one of the great things with the how the music industry has gone these days is you can actually affordably record your stuff and keep recording your new stuff and where you're at now, as opposed to the old days where you had to find the studio, have the resources, and then have the time to do it. These days you can do it at a high level in home studios,
Yeah.
which is really, really great.
Yeah, because growing up, it was always like, wow, it's a big deal. He's going to record now.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
the kid, the 11-year-old on your block has got a recording
Sure.
CD that he's handing you.
And pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the
it might
thing.
kick your butt.
Yeah, that's the sad thing
Yeah.
about it is, oh, you recorded that at home? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, so I mean that is a good thing. And yeah, I agree with you about songs. I have a lot of songs that I always thought were really good songs that I never do anymore. It just, my life has changed though too, from a lot of it from songs I've written. That being said, and I've been accused of messing my life up so I could have something to write about.
My wife always says she's going to leave me because I write good, broken-hearted love songs.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly.
Because I give you a reason to write a song.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you're happy, your songwriting generally is not as,
I always kid around my favorite Billy Joel stuff is before he met Christy Brinkley.
Sure.
I could live without that era.
Oh yeah.
Well, he wrote some good songs then, but they weren't
Right.
the stuff that grabs you in the
No,
throat.
no. Oh, there has to be, life-changing events. If you're a songwriter, is like gold.
Yeah.
You know.
When you're hungry and you're struggling,
Yeah,
and your life is on the line.
I just saw one of the people that, as a songwriter, I have a lot of respect for, James McMurtry.
Oh gosh.
I saw someone asked James, what advice do you have for songwriters? He said, quit if you can.
Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, I mean, because he says after a certain point, you write for the rest of your life with there's no reason for me to write anymore.
Yeah.
I am where I am in life. I'm not looking to get my stuff recorded.
Yeah.
But I still write.
Yeah.
Because once you have, there's a lot of therapy in writing.
Oh sure.
Therapeutic,
yeah, cathartic. One of my favorite writers, I don't know if you know Richard Shindell.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Fantastic writer. He's pretty much retired, and he's not that old.
Yeah.
But he's kind of done it all and toured the world and, done the Kerrvilles and all the folk festivals and headlined with Lucy Kaplansky.
Actually, he was out there when I
When
I was out there. So
yeah.
So I know.
And I was living in Argentina, and he's like, But you wonder, because I write the same, just what you said. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Whether something happens or doesn't happen,
right.
I enjoy the process.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, well, can I still do that in 10 years when I have arthritis? I don't know. But I feel like it's just something I've always done. If I was in jail, if I had a guitar, I'd probably write songs. Probably be better songs.
Well, there's a guy, a local guy, Dale Britton. You may know Dale or not, but Dale wrote a song in the Cleveland County Jail. Actually, a really good song. Yeah. And he was AWOL from the Navy when that, they got him and put him in the Cleveland County Jail, and he wrote a pretty good song. Yeah. So, but songwriting is it gets in your blood,
Yeah.
And songwriters are a bit eccentric too. You realize that?
Oh yeah. I'm always disappointed when I read the bios of my heroes because they're usually not really great people.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, oh yeah, that's the thing about meeting your heroes. Sometimes it's like, no offense, James.
Well, it takes a lot of stepping on toes and climbing over people to get to the top.
It does. It does.
And I guess there's a way to do it and not a way to do it. But these people are, when that happens, they're young and not that.
Yeah, I mean, that's survival basically.
Yeah, survival.
That is one of the things about songwriting is those songs are out there. Whether there's millions of songs that are written that no one's ever recorded. Yeah. It's like a floating gold mine in people's bedrooms and houses. So.
Yeah, so I always think when I sing songs that people writing songs that voices never share.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually a pretty great idea for a song if you'd like to write that thing. Yeah. So you ever co-write?
Yes. Well, in the band that I was in New Jersey with my partner, we co-wrote. But I have to say most of it is like, I've got most of a song and like, I have a bridge that might fit.
Sure. Yeah.
But we don't actually sit down together and compliment each other's lines. Although we have done that, but most of the time I fly solo.
Yeah. I mean. It's Nashville is so different these days. You'll have 6 people write a song, and and probably if I'm living in Nashville, I'm claiming that song. You and me and 4 other people write it. When we go out, I wrote that song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, And then when your royalty check comes, you go, well, yeah, okay, I had a thee and a the, and it's like maybe I had a good idea, but somebody else had the words, but. I actually know a guy who works at Organic Records in Asheville, and he fixes songs. Oh. And he's never written a complete one himself, but he has 4 Grammys. Wow. And he's just a song fixer. And he did not even move to Nashville till he was 50 years old, and everybody made fun of him for going thinking he would flop. Wow. And now he has like 4 of the last 5 Bluegrass Grammys, the record he either produced or had songs on it. Billy Strings, if you know who Billy is. He
I
had.
don't want to see that guy again.
Yeah,
He's too good.
Billy has. This guy has songs on all the latest Billy String stuff.
My goodness.
So it can happen.
Fixer's a funny word. It sounds like somebody that works on The Sopranos
Sure.
or something.
Yeah. Well, I think he kind of is. I mean, John's a nice guy, but he'll fix your song for a price.
Uncle Vinny will fix it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of songs in history, are, even you read like backstories about the writers, like they personally don't feel like one verse was that great,
Right.
or
Oh,
that
yeah.
strong, or
Sure.
yeah, but the song made it to the all-time grades.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Paul Simon always thought that Bridge Over Troubled Water was probably one of his greatest songs. It swept the Grammys in 1970, but he never liked the last verse, Sail on Silver Girl, because he felt like it didn't fit the other two verses.
Yeah.
Even though people love it.
And
Because I just never felt like it fit.
well, one of the things that someone way wiser told me, that even after you record it, if you don't like it, you can still change the verses around, And then, then I think about Bob Dylan, and I've seen him do his songs with whole different lines than the original thing that he recorded.
Yes.
So I guess, well, as a writer, you realize the importance of rewrite or
Sure.
editing, rewriting, and I guess he gets to do his in real live time, But that's one of the things I always tell people is, when you write it the first time, don't believe that that's finished.
I know. I'm in some, hang out with some people in like song workshops, and when you're young, you think, oh, this song is just great. I poured it out in 10 minutes, and it's just phenomenal. Then you get in the workshop, and you realize not everybody shares that opinion.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean.
And then you look back and say, yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe there's a line here. Maybe I need to work on.
Once in a rare 10 years, something pops up.
Oh yeah, they're
formed. But even then, there might be a the, of, or that
sure.
can be changed.
And it's one of those things that and many times I'm sure that you probably, I don't know, usually stuff comes to me in blocks. I have a creative period.
Absolutely. That's what just happened. 3 songs just popped out like triplets, and I was dormant for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, some people, I guess, maybe have a steady flow, but mine, tends to come in blocks. And a lot of times when they come in blocks, I will write the song to get the song done.
Yes.
I mean, while the idea is fresh. And then, when I go back and look at it, I start, well, maybe it's time to record it, and I start looking at it, it's like, I could do this better. I was just basically capturing the whole idea. Maybe my word choices weren't good, or maybe my phrasing wasn't.
Get it down to.
Yep. Yeah. But a lot of people go with that. It's like, well, it was a creative process. It was a gift.
Yeah.
But a part of a gift
Divine
is
intervention.
Yeah.
Right. All that. But
yeah. But sometimes
maybe it is, but not. It could still be improved.
Yeah. I mean, the divine intervention part of it is it gave you the idea. Now you have to clean the stuff up.
Yeah. You got to do a little bit of work yourself. I'm not giving you the whole thing.
Sure. How are crowds different in, say, Charlotte than they were in New Jersey, New York?
Well, it's a different era,
True, this is
20
true.
years, the cell phone era has really changed things a lot.
Yeah, it has.
I find that I enjoy gigs. A lot of times I'll play like, there's one gig I haven't done in a while, but I was playing in the warm weather, a retirement community, not an old age home, but 55.
Right, yeah.
Very active. And what a great audience, because no one had a cell phone in their hands. They just sat there, listened, applauded, commented after the song on words they liked.
Yeah.
And then you play for a group of young kids, and nobody even looks up. They're all texting somebody else.
Sure.
They're hanging with their friends, but they're texting somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even hanging with each other.
Right.
And it's like, I get it on some level, because I've been guilty of that a few times.
Yeah.
But not, if I'm hanging all night with my friends, I'm not texting somebody else all night. I'm hanging with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And if somebody's playing, I grew up in an era where you listen and you respect the person on stage. And I've been to shows where, people are out with their kids and they don't even teach them the basic,
Oh, yeah.
basic just to applaud after a song. And I'm not looking for the applause, just noticing that that kind of thing is almost,
Well,
the ability to listen.
and people don't. I mean, a lot of times you're hired, and when you're going in there that you're hired basically for background music,
Yep.
And a lot of times, okay, I'm going to confess to something. Sometimes I will even sing some really dirty lyrics just to see if anybody's paying attention. Yeah. Or change the words
I do that.
to something that somebody knows just to see. Or it kind of breaks the monotony of those jobs.
Yeah.
And okay,
I've done that. There's a Buffett song where he sings, made enough money to buy Miami, and I always say, made enough money to buy Gastonia.
Yeah, exactly.
And people are like, what?
What do you just say? But I mean,
about
that's kind of
Gastonia?
cool. Yeah, because you have to do that. I mean, part of it is entertaining and catching people's attention. And I know a lot of really fine musicians who aren't really good entertainers.
Yeah.
And then I know some really crappy musicians that are fantastic entertainers.
Yep.
So
It's a whole different thing.
It is.
It is an art in itself. A lot of times you have to get over that, your ego, and you have
Sure.
to wonder. You're playing in a restaurant, and you're like, why did that table just get up and leave? Did they get up and leave because they
Right.
want to see a movie, or they just hate me?
or they don't want to hear
You
my
can't
song.
think about that.
Oh, I know you can't.
Unless the
no.
whole room clears out.
No, well, yeah. Well, or, I've been in rooms that it cleared out, but it had nothing to do with me or nothing to do with the band I was playing. It's like at that time they have someplace else to be.
Exactly.
I just hope I can catch some of the next shift that comes in.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, I have a favorite coffee house in the area, Lake Norman area, and sometimes I love playing outside there, but sometimes when it's upstairs, you'll come up and the room will be full, and then everybody will just leave, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
I think I'll take
yeah.
a break now.
Yeah.
And then a few more people come up with coffee, and then it fills up again. You're like, you just can't figure it
Sure.
out. You could drive yourself crazy wondering if it's you.
Yeah.
I don't know. To a point, I know I'm good because I'm hired by a lot
Right.
of rooms to play.
Right.
But good is only subjective to the person listening.
True.
So,
Let's address.
only in the moment.
Let's address one other thing, and this is one of my. I want your take on this. So, does not matter. You and I, we're playing, and we get paid by the place to play, but we have our tip jar out there.
Yes.
Okay. So if there is no cover charge, and you come in and you listen and you do not tip, you cannot say that you support local music because you do not. No cover, you're getting music for free. The least you can do is drop $1 in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I see, and in a small town, you can play and you'll see people and they'll talk about, I really support live music. And I go, there's no cover and you didn't tip. So I'm calling bullshit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in a place that
You've got to have Venmo or PayPal now because a lot of people, young people especially,
Yeah, well, if it's young
I
people,
wanted to tip you, but I don't
carry
money.
cash. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
If it's a young audience, without a doubt, these days you do have to have,
Yeah.
Cash App, Venmo, something. You
Yeah.
got to have something. I agree because you'll lose money if you don't.
But my biggest beef is they'll have a table of like 12 people out. It's Joe's birthday party, and they're having a great time. They're calling out songs, and you're playing all of them, and they all get up and walk out. And
Oh, yeah.
No one throws.
Oh yeah, nothing.
You're entertaining them half the
Sure,
night, and
yeah.
they just get up and leave. And you just say some do, some don't.
Right.
Yeah,
it's
just you can't figure it out. But yeah, I agree with you. If you're not paying a cover, and you're getting great entertainment or even decent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy's up there putting his soul.
Yeah.
Guy or girl is putting his soul in it, working for a living.
Yeah.
And you don't know generally if a venue is paying this person or if they are only working for tips.
Yeah.
Generally they are getting paid, but are they getting paid enough? No, truthfully, you don't get paid enough when you do jobs. I don't get paid enough. I mean, we get paid what we're willing to take for.
We'd do much better if we were plumbers.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So
it would be $70 just to say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
can't do that.
No, we can't. So it's the busking thing too. I have this talk a lot of times with because I've busked a lot in my life, it's not the same as panhandling or begging, because you're giving entertainment to people.
Yeah.
And they'll stand there and listen. Well, if you're standing there to listen, drop $1 in. It's not like I'm begging, I'm working.
Oh, sure.
But now, that being said, in Nashville, people make a lot of money busking.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made as much, Yeah, I've gone there for fun sometimes and busk just to, I paid for our meal,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, I never did that on a large level. It must get competitive.
Oh.
How do you work out, like, whose corner this is today? Or this hour?
Well,
Does it get ugly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Particularly in a town that
This is hot spots.
Yeah, and Asheville is part of. It's just one of the many attractions to Asheville, but it is street music.
Sure.
Now, New Orleans is the same way, except Asheville is really nice, mellow people, where New Orleans is. Hey man, I'll shoot you if you get my If you take my spot on this corner between 4 and 6. Something good's not going to happen to you, So it does get that way, And there are better places to busk than others.
Sure.
We have a couple of coveted places in this town that we only have maybe right now 2 or 3 people that busk, but they all want these 2 spots, because it's where the tips are, it's where the people come.
Yeah.
So.
I always wonder about that, how they work that out.
Yeah, Not sometimes not.
They have to text each other like, "I'm there 4 to 6 Thursday."
And sometimes
don't you dare.
Sometimes everybody gathers there, and try to push each other out, or stand side by side till I'm going to move. I can do better over here than having to compete with
let's all just
these
jam together.
Exactly. Yeah, and we'll split the pot. But it's but. Yeah, I mean, being a songwriter is a hard task. It's a hard journey. It's a lot easier to play in a cover band.
It's a lot easier. You want to make a lot of money just being a cover band that does weddings and,
sure.
and corporate events.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
Stay away from the little local bars.
Right.
And go right for the big companies that could give you $800 or $1,000 for the gig instead of like $200.
Exactly.
But a lot of bands do. I'm guilty of that so many times. I do that, and I just work in volume. Like, all right, well, one night I'm only going to make $70.
Right.
The next night I'll make $250.
Sure.
And and then you're looking this guy down the street. He's playing in a corporate band, and they're making thousands.
Oh yeah.
Or a wedding band. You sell your soul, but hey,
yeah, I mean you do.
You're still just playing. No matter how you cut it, you're still playing covers. You're a song peddler.
Yeah, you are.
You're a traveling jukebox.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will sometimes when I'm playing bars, I feel like I'm just a beer salesman.
Yeah.
Play a craft brewery. Well, I'm basically just a beer salesman.
And the owner. And some of them are musicians, and they get it, but they don't really care. Somebody that's like pretty face with can't play can just sit there and they fill the room up, and that's who they're going to hire.
That's who they're going to hire, sure.
And I don't blame them.
I don't either. I mean, the bottom line is they have to make a buck.
Yeah.
It's who can bring the crowd in.
Now, will that last? Will that have lasting power? I don't know. Will the crowds move on because there's really not good entertainment? Or
I don't know.
It's a hot spot to begin with. And they don't care.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
And probably he's looking, and a good place like that probably has tons of applications to choose from. I mean, they get stuff every day from somebody wanting to play.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
play some places where they're like, you don't like our arrangement, get
sure.
out. We'll hire somebody that can
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah.
They've told me.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that too.
This is the way we run things.
Yeah.
If it rains, you don't play.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the outdoor jobs. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I've had those too. Where
If you're halfway here and you see it's raining, turn around and go home.
Yeah.
Don't call it saying, "Oh, I still get paid." No.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how we do it. And if you don't like it, we'll
See,
find somebody that can deal with it.
songwriters never have agents.
Yeah.
They don't have somebody to book this stuff for them and say, "Well, I'm
Hold
getting
the contract."
Yeah, I got my contract. I got my, which, I mean, at a certain point, some of them do. The Todd Snyders, the James McMurtry, people who do that, who do that more often than people who, I mean, they'll both play with bands, but they do a lot of solo stuff. And
Yeah.
John Prine, but then they do it at a higher enough level where and there is a point in every band's or every individual's performance where once you get to a certain level, you have to have help. So you're not looking to travel, you're just looking to stay in that same area. Then that works really well.
Yeah. Like right now, because I'm raising
Right.
2 girls, but
Sure, but if
we're almost out of the nest. But I have traveled.
But if you look to travel, then generally you need help to get yourself into the better places.
You need a right-hand man.
You do, and it's worth the few bucks that you pay them. To even if you wind up not making any more, you're playing better rooms.
Yeah. Well, somebody like Shindell, I noticed.
Sure.
Because I talked to him for a while outside of the Evening Muse in Charlotte, and we're both from New Jersey, and we talked about a lot of rooms we played together. But he, the difference between him and me is he'll play the Evening Muse one night, and he'll play some local church concert the next day.
Yeah.
And it probably doesn't pay that great, but he'll sell a lot more CDs than I will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
He'll make it up in some merchandising. He'll still walk out with 500.
Well, and merchandising really is really big. People I have noticed it goes back and forth. Depends on your audience. Sometimes you can sell CDs still.
Yeah.
Other times you can't. If it's a young crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
And they'll say, are you on Spotify?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I am, and your royalty checks are going to stink, but it's still better than. I mean, I have them come in for small amounts of money. Mm-hmm. It's better than no amount.
Yeah.
But it's different. And then generally you can sell a T-shirt or two. So but that is pretty much that is a large portion even of traveling big time bands.
Oh sure. Yeah. God, they're charging $40, $50 a T-shirt now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's crazy.
Making a lot of money.
Sure. Yeah. Well,
we just saw Stevie Nicks and all the merchandise was flying out.
Oh yeah. Well, I see venues are now wanting a piece of your. Used to you just got someone to sell it for you and they got a piece of it, but now I see venues are wanting a part of your merch sales, which is, it kind of stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got their finger in the pie all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
They skim it off of the little guy.
They do.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
What else we need to know?
Well, also let people in the Shelby area know. And the podcast I'm sure goes out all over the place.
Sure.
But if you're a songwriter and you're interested in contact me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and all that fun stuff. And or you can email me at mikeamusic.com, all one word, lowercase, mikeamusic.com, and let me know that you'd like to do a showcase.
Sure.
Yeah.
How do they
Send
hire?
me some information and some clips and
How do they hire you?
How do they?
How if someone wants to hire you?
Oh, hire me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, just roll out a big wad of money.
Yeah, that works. But I mean, how do they contact you?
Yeah, same way, mikeamusic.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a project.
But I don't want any. Don't solicit me with your. Make $100 today selling.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, no. He's looking for music jobs.
Yeah, looking for music.
Yeah. No. He's not coming to do your dishes or wash your windows or nothing. No.
No, I did that when I was younger.
Yeah, I've done some of that too. So.
Oh God, the odd jobs along the way.
Well, that's another thing too. Well,
Just stuff to write about.
Yeah. Oh, it does. I mean, So.
Buffing bumpers, walking home these saggy old shoes, the car wash blues.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
I enjoyed it. And it's a thrill to be here, sitting right here in the Earl Scruggs Center. It's like, pinch me.
Yeah, I mean, it really is cool, this room that we're in. Mm-hmm. If these walls could talk, man, there's been a ton of music played in here.
Yeah.
Got that. Hey, it's live.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's been my pleasure. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you. The song was written driving from North Carolina to New Jersey, where I'm originally from. I was doing a trip to do some recording up at a friend's studio, and The whole song I wrote in the car on the way up, and when I got to my friend's house, I said, "Give me a piece of paper. I got to write this down." It's all in my head. So this is called "Sun's Up, Virginia." Under a veil of illusion, spend many long years in a haze, crawl through a world of confusion, barely escape from the maze, stumbled across the lost caverns, tore up the natural bridge, many a dream I left scattered, crawl to the end of the ridge. But the sun's up, Virginia, the shade of the mountains draw near. Let go the mist from within you, come brush away that last tear. Don't turn your back on tomorrow. Oh, you know you can't run from the past. Don't spend your whole life in sorrow. None of these moments can last. Somewhere beyond the great distance, in the twinkling of dawn's silver light, shake off the chains of resistance, pick up new wings and take flight. Hey, the sun's up, Virginia, the shade of the mountains draw near. Let go the mist from within you, come brush away that last tear. Yes, the sun's up, Virginia, the shade of the mountains draw near. Let go the mist from within you, everything's coming so clear.